This is Rafaela Buena, and this is kind of Street Smarts. The idea of Street Smarts is that I go to the streets and I talk to people in a very real and raw and honest way. So I've been quite passionate about talking to people who are not the ones that we actually see quoted everywhere, the people who are kind of closer to us, because I feel that if we're always aspiring and looking up to the people who either became millionaires, billionaires, achieve that C-suite that everyone might be going for in these huge companies, that is all very much amazing and yeah, need for recognition. But street smarts of the people who are kind of just the way that we are, but they managed to to go through life and to achieve what they are at now. So I think it's important to demystify this idea that it's only a big achievement if you achieve like crazy this crazy place, because we have to think a little bit about numbers. There's just not enough for everyone. So that is why that is so extraordinary. So if we're always just trying to be that extraordinary, I think it also might make us lose sight that what also we're doing, the way that we're doing things, can also be extraordinary. You don't need to be in that 1% or 0 point something percent. So this is why I love talking to people. And today, I'm trying something that I actually promised myself, which is not only to live things at the moment and discover them and think about them at that specific moment, but also to recollect those thoughts and see what kind of impact they've had for me. It's a beautiful sunny day, so I would love to do some gardening with you today. And it will be a very different kind of video, so very slow paced. And the idea is that I am going through those ideas and checking in with myself what kind of impact they've been having on me and what kind of um, understanding that they bring to me of my life, my reality, and things that I see around. Because, I feel that we're so crowded with so much content every day, and there's amazing things being said to us with AI. Like, there is so many things being produced right now that if we don't take a moment to actually think about those and reflect, that is not knowledge, that is just information. So it's something that I really want to work on with myself, to make information that I get into knowledge. And that process can be actually only in a kind of slower kind of way. So I have no idea how this will go, how long it will take, and what actually I'm going to talk about, because it's quite unscripted. But the idea is to let my mind think and do something that back in the day when I was studying communications in university, um, the idea that we actually make sense of things also while we're talking. So it's not only the opinions, the ideas that you have, is not that you have a lonely moment with them and then you create your opinions or thoughts or ideas on them. But it's actually while we are communicating, while we're writing, while we are talking, that we can sort those things out and make sense of them in our lives. So this is it. Welcome to the very first trial of Street Smarts. Let's see what I'm gonna call it. I don't know. And join me in some gardening. And the reason why I think gardening is important, because it's also known that when we're doing things with our hands, and we're just dealing with things, especially when it's nature related, we can free our minds, we can free our heads, and we can also understand things better and give that space to the head. So let's see if this will be something that people actually like, because it's just a It's just kind of a reflection video. I'm not going to be talking at all times. Maybe I'm going to describe what I'm doing. Yeah. My relationship with plants is I absolutely love plants. I love them so, so much. And I love gardening. This is one of the things that I can do for hours and hours and hours. And I just lose sight, especially if I have sun on me. I just lose time and I'm just there, and I can really be happy doing that for hours and hours. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I do have a couple of to do. So I do have this whole place here, which is in need to be filled. This is something we found on the streets. I'm from Brazil, and I've never ever found anything valuable on the streets except, except smiles. That is something that you can't find everywhere, and we do have them in Brazil. Smiles, I love that. Uh, but about physical things, it's not. Yeah, you don't find good stuff in Brazil like that. So in the Netherlands, that is different. So this here we found, and it's basically a big wooden thing, a box, furniture with two spaces for plants. So I got some flowers, and I was thinking of putting them in a way here. I will for no means fill it up, but I will try to see. It would be good to then also see what kind of space I have. I'll be drinking something. Maybe I have celiac disease, and that means that I cannot have any gluten. So I got a very special kind of beer, and you forgive me if you're a beer lover, because you might find this an absolute atrocity, but let me tell you, it does go well with the day today. So this is a coconut beer, gluten-free. Let's go. 3.6. Nice. Let me try. Cheers. Wow, perfect. I also got popcorn. Amazing. This day is beautiful. Okay, so here we go. Let me see where I should start. I didn't plan it, so I just want to think kind of on the go. I bought a bunch of earth. Use this little thing, which is so useful. Let me have an eye on how everything. Okay, I'm still on the shot. Have some earth here. I think I'm gonna start putting the earth there. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. And I got these beautiful pots. Like, they're so gorgeous. They will be for indoors, I guess. And yeah, I think I'll do them later. So at the opportunity where we found this thing, we also saved a bunch of plants. Somebody just tossed them on the streets like heartlessly. So this is how we found them. And I love plants, so I could not let this happen. And I thought, I can save you. So let's see if I will be able to. So these are indoor plants. And some of them didn't have, they were tossed out of their thing. So now they actually don't, they need earth. And they're just, it took me a week to start doing this because of several things. So now some of them unfortunately have not liked my idea of leaving them in water for a week. So let's see what's gonna happen. All right, so I'm gonna start putting this here. Oof, this also needs a little bit more love. This is better. Okay. I used to have this one for a long time. This one works indoors and outdoors. I don't know what plant this is, but I know it. And by the way, I call all plants she. I gender them because they just give me very feminine vibes. And in Portuguese, we have the words are gendered. So it's, just like in German, you have der, die, das. In Portuguese, you have a and o, so it's just feminine and masculine. In German, you do have the neutral, which is amazing also, but yeah, in Portuguese we have feminine and masculine. And a natureza, so that is the nature, is feminine. So for me, plantas, plants is also feminine. So that's for me is feminine. So I might be talking about plants as she. So you know it. All right. Yeah, and of course I want to start thinking unscripted, but a little bit. I do have some thoughts already about what I want to say about, yeah, or what I want to think about, because I don't have anything per se to say, but I have things that I want to think about, you know. So the process that I kind of want to go through. Um, this one is so cute because I got three of each, like the darker pink, the lighter pink, and this white one. But in this white one, has one just tiny one that is also pink. How awesome! I love it. Ah, it will look beautiful, but it will for sure be for one. I don't know, maybe, yeah. Okay, let's see. Got a lot of earth. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, it is heavy. I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna open it. Will fall in there. Maybe that could work. Let me open this here. Yeah, nice. Okay. So I need some tools actually. Let me take them from the other side. And so I think actually everyone should do it, to talk to themselves. Because just like when you meditate, if you start meditating, you will learn that it's a need of your brain to meditate, to have that moment, to go through the thoughts that you've already have, even if you're trying not to go through any thoughts, which is a little bit, counterintuitive, but it's when you give space for thoughts to be and to just live and not generate more and more thoughts. So I like that. I don't have scissors, so here we go. This earth is amazing. It is so fluffy and dark. Look at this. Like, it's something I can only recommend to everybody to be dealing with earth. Yes. I think maybe one will not even be enough for one. I have two, and I also have pots. Let's see, I think I might do one today, leave this one, and then I will also, then I will have some earth left for the others. So right now I've done 7 episodes of Street Smarts, and they're quite different in terms of like who I've interviewed, who I talked to, who those people are, like their personalities, what they're saying, and they've all of them like impacted me in something, especially like, oh, there was this one thing that I heard at a moment, and I wish sometimes I got to do this in other moments of my life, which is to edit. Actually, I hate editing, but to re-listen, I think that is more it. To replay a conversation, it's quite magical. To record an episode and then be able to replay is so nice. Because then I get the opportunity of hearing it again and giving new thoughts to what was said at that moment. And and there were like one thing that this person I interviewed or talked to um, said, his name is Joey, and he wrote it to me first. I always ask people to give it some thought so that they're not like blank and then they don't think later, oh shoot, I really wanted to have talked about this. So I think that's a good thing to always ask people, hey, like write some bullet points and let's think about this together. So they write, I take it, and then I put it into a file for them and for me, of course, that also helps me. And then he said that it's okay to reinvent yourself. Um, it's not being fake. It's not, it's not being fake to reinvent yourself. And that caught me at a really nice moment, like in my life, where I've also, in terms of hobbies, I go through this thing of going really into a hobby and that also becoming part of my personality. And that is great, right? So that is like you're really living the hobby, so you're taking it more seriously. But then if I'm not doing it anymore, I was thinking, oh, was this then fake? You know, like, is this then not me? Is this not part of me? Is this not who I want to be? Something like that. And actually, when he said like you reinvent yourself as many times as you need, as you want, and that is a survival technique, that was really beautiful because I understood, yeah, you can reinvent yourself, you can change the course, you can give new meanings, you can choose new things, you can try new things, you can just you don't, if you want to be a new person, let that be the next you. It's not that you're impersonating somebody else. Of course, that's not what we're talking about. It's about you giving yourself the chance to let go of the things you don't want anymore and to embrace what you actually want. And if that's different of what you had, it's completely fine. So I really love that, what Joey said. And for him, that was also very needed in his, journey of coming as a refugee. Oh, thank you. My mic. Okay, all good. Coming as a refugee and going through, not knowing anyone and having to find a life for himself. So that was something really impactful. I love that. Okay, let me put here. I will just go for it. Okay. I might. Sometimes I don't believe the things I do in terms of carrying, that I carry this thing all the way from the store. 2 of them, not only one. Okay, let's see. Yes, Earth is coming out. And we will have a lot of Earth. Good, 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 good. Yes, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Whoa, super good. Okay, this one is done. It can come over here. By the way, I have a dog. The dog is over there. Of course, dog doesn't want to be cute in the background. Dog wants to do her own things. How awesome is to do this? I wish I really had a garden to just be doing this. I love it so much. I have this one too. Another tool to use in the earth. What is the name? Air in the earth? Yeah. Yeah. I've also been thinking about plants, like been thinking about plants in a way that, like it's so interesting when a plant is suffering or is dying, it will let go of its weakest leaf and and then let that one go, let that one die, just let it go. And when it comes to, yeah, and let that one die, and another one will come. So it can, in its own self, sort of kill itself and die, but then come stronger and adapt to what are the needs. So for example, if there's not enough water or sun, it cannot cope with all of those leaves. It will then reduce and let go of the weaker ones so that the younger ones can use it, because I guess they're more efficient in using it. And we are not like that as humans. Like, we just have this one body. We cannot grow like a new part and let go of the rest. And of course, if you think of like trauma and difficult things we go through, like, you can't just let them go. Like okay, this is a leaf, or this is part of me that I don't want to have. So I'll just let it go. It's not really like that. So that is different in terms of plants versus humans. But it comes to this idea of what Joey was saying, of reinventing yourself, because we reinvent ourselves, and it's kind of, we're letting go of this part that we don't want anymore in us. It can be because also you just got bored of it, I don't think we always have to be like always like trying to grow. We always try to grow. Sometimes it's just going to be different than what you were before. I think that's also totally fine. All right, so now I'm thinking how I can place them. So actually I didn't have enough earth for one, which is insane because that was 40 liters. My God. Okay. So I'm gonna concentrate on this part because, yeah, maybe here I want taller plants because they're at the bottom, on the back. Yeah. And speaking of taller, my taller ones will go in the back, and then the others will go here. So I think that will look beautiful. So I think, yeah, if I concentrate here, like 2/3 of this thing, then I can make it happen. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna use this one. Okay, it has a name, Pelargonium zonale. Okay. Do not eat it. I will not eat you, don't worry. Let me put you here. Bloop, bloop. Yay, so happy. Ooh, so much earth you have no. Look how much you can grow. Oh no, I hope you didn't hear the crack. If you did, ignore it. If you didn't, nothing happened. Yeah, so, because one day I even got a little bit, like, not mad, but it just like, this idea of we always have to be like working on ourselves. And I thought, but isn't that impossible? Because then we're always trying to achieve something that we will never achieve, because you can never say you're perfect, It's like, you can never say. So, yeah, I do have a little bit of an issue with that, maybe, of try to always like get better, try to always be doing, improving. On the other hand, it's also nice to feel at the fullest. So I think it's not a word to feel at the most perfect, if that makes sense, but to feel at the fullest. So what is the version of you that you like, that you will feel your fullest self? I think that's it. And not that you will feel, oh, I've reached perfection, because that is not a goal. But how can you feel, yeah, your fullest? All right, I'm gonna add another one here. So those are sisters, and they're hanging out together here. Nice. They have little buttons that are gonna come. So yeah, I really enjoyed talking to Joey. It was really, really nice. And Yeah, and it allowed me to accept this what I was saying of, oh, when I change something, or it's okay, like you're not being fake, you're not, you can change, and I think it's also okay to think what do you want to change physically, even if it's just like the way you do your hair, for example, which is could be silly, but I think it's not. We shouldn't pretend that it that it that it isn't, because that is also like, if you think about the plants again, yeah, they present themselves so beautifully. This one chose to be two colored. So you can also choose, like, do you want to be two colored? Do you want to have the main self and then something different? This one comes here. Well, of course, the plants I'm planting have earth themselves, so that increases my overall amount of earth. So this is good. Welcome to your new bed. So yeah, if we can't let go, like, of a leaf, being humans, we have to still live with the dead leaf or with the bad leaf that we have, and that I think can be, yeah, like, difficult, right? Because you will have to, yeah, keep that, because that is also who you are. I've also, it's not on the podcast, but I've been also talking to somebody, someone I really appreciate, and we were talking about heritage and what we let go of coming to a new country. And this person had this thing of making like a big cut. Okay, this is my new me. This is the new. This is then not like. This is my new me. Everything in the past, I let go, and I will adapt to this new context that I'm at, and I will sort of mimic or be like the people around me to fit, and ignore who I was in the past. And that is so dangerous, I think, because yeah, like again, plants like roots, you do have them. And I know it's not about being so much on traditions, on having to repeat, I'm just doing this because my family used to, I'm just doing this because my ancestors did it. It's not because of that, but it's recognizing that what you grew up with, and personally, I believe also what you have in your um, like ancestral knowledge that is in you. Like, even if you come from another place, but you've been replaced as a baby, for example, I think you would still have that ancestral knowledge that is inside of you, that you can feel like, okay, I'm not so much like this place that I'm at now. And yeah, so I think if we decide to like let go of a leaf, we're suppressing it. And because we can't, because we're human, so everything will still be here, and I cannot just grow a new leaf like a plant. So it will still be there. So it's about knowing how to deal with it, and knowing how and where to have it inside of you, like what kind of like stage do you want to give it, what kind of space you want to give it in your life, and when. Yeah, I'm thirsty. Okay, I'm very slow. 30 minutes. This is all I've done. But I've been talking. Okay, I've been thinking. That's good. That's good. So if I had pink, then I would go with white, I guess. Or should I go like the darker shades go into the lighter shades? I think that's actually looking better. Yeah, so I start with these ones, and then I bloop 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 come to this. So yeah, I'll do like these 3 lines. this? You come here. And it was very beautiful talking to this person, this other person who's not on the podcast, by the way. But because we have then like talked so much about being the person that you are in a new context and allowing that person to be who they are, and still like you still will have moments where you can let everything out. Like, for example, if we talk about cultural nuances, that you can let everything out of who you want to be from a cultural perspective, but you still have, yeah, you still, like, on a day-to-day basis, like, how can you bring just the sauce, just the seasoning of this background that you have? How can you bring that part into your day-to-day life if you're living in a complete new country that doesn't match your culture? So that is interesting because of course, like, I adapted a lot, but I also learned so much, like it's not I think adapting is not only like, oh, I'm gonna do like this because this is the way that people do over here, but it's learning a new way of doing things. I think that's fascinating. And learning a new way, oh my god, this one is so sad. No, I'm so sorry. I hope you come back. God, I'm gonna regret the way that I'm talking to plants on camera. Ugh, okay, let's see what. Yeah, she is not so happy, but I hope she will find her way to happiness. Yes, just like all of us. Now, my plan was to have, all of these lines. It will be a bit packed. I'm not so sure. Let's try. We'll do like this tiny one here that's like light pink, and then the white one. Some like decisions of design, like, okay, Lucky Lips. This is what they put on the packaging. Is this flower called Lucky Lips? Or is this just a decision? The flower is called Dianthus. Okay, who knows? Who can understand these decisions? Yeah, it will work out. I can put this one here and then the white one over here. So the things I've learned being an expat and living in Europe for now 12 years is also things of I'm gonna put this one first. This is my favorite with the tiniest. Although this one also has some, and this one too. Okay, you're all my favorites. Okay, where was I? See my brain. Got caught with other thoughts. It's okay. Yeah, my learnings. So I've learned. So for example, it's very basic, but biking. I remember the first bike I got living in Germany actually, and I hated it so much. I told the person, it was my ex. I told, you put this in the basement because I'm not gonna use it. I was just angry. I was just like, how could you? How dare you? Like, on my birthday, give me something that I hate. I was offended. And turns out, in the end, I loved the bike. It was a tiny one, it could fold, it was like just perfect for starters. It was super old, like a vintage bike, red, just lovely. And I then, I'm a biker now. Look at me, I bike everywhere. The other day I went to the supermarket and I biked with everything. And my bike doesn't have a gear, it's not an electric bike. My bike is the simplest version of a bike you could ever imagine. It's not that one anymore. My bike is very, very simple. And I biked with everything that I bought in the supermarket. And then I got home and I was like, oh my God, it was so much weight. I want to know exactly how much I was carrying all the way here. So I weighed everything that I was carrying, and turns out I carried in a non-gear, I don't know if that's a word, bike, 21 kilos. That is probably 200 pounds. 21 kilos. So much on my bike. So this is something that I learned, you know? Like I would never, in Brazil, I would never bike with 21 kilos. I would never even bike. And this was actually something that I learned how to do. And of course, so this is very practical, and talk about these nuances is also like little things we do in our lives, how we talk to people, how we address people, and so on. And many of them I think we don't even realize that we're doing, and then we're doing them, and then when we move, no, or we go back to our country, then we're like, oh wow, I do this. This is probably because I live somewhere else. And it's fine. But again, it's how to add that sauce, that spice, that you're still like feeling, yeah, this is me. I'm not like giving in terms of forgetting who I am. I can be who I am. But then having the community, I think that's important, where you can express the fullest version of that. So where it's not only the seasoning, where is everything, where is the beautiful meal that you want to consume, you know? That is you. You are a meal. So from your country, that's the idea. All right. Maybe I should stop talking about this topic. Because who knows where I am going with this. So I realized I put them in different levels. So this one is higher, as we can see, but she's also very beautiful, so that's fine. Let's give her a little bit of spotlight. But these are much lower, and of course I did this by placing the earth differently. I didn't know that's a thing. On the other hand, they will grow, right? So they will also go bloop. So I think that's okay. So I will, yeah, so let me make you higher since I'm on this topic. Because then it's just the way I place the earth, so I have to place more earth underneath her, of course, because I was doing these holes to place it, but it's okay. Luckily, there's a lot of gardening still to do, so, and I don't have earth, so there might be a continuation of this video. Let's see. And now this is this. Beautiful. Okay, let me change topics. Let me think of something else. I realized I just spoken about one actually. But about two people actually. One's Joey and this other person. And then there was, yeah, like Josity. I got so many messages from Josity's interview, because she is amazing. Like, it's just something people are like, oh my god, this woman is amazing. I've been having the best time listening to her. So good. On the other hand, it's also it's also, I loved it because she said things that are outrageous, and I love that. I love when people are outrageous. I absolutely adore that, and she does it in her own way. So I love when we can go away from repeating what we've been hearing, because it's easy to repeat something. For example, thinking about the cultural nuances again, I noticed that some like reactions, like the or or I'm just making this up, but because I don't know them right now, but just like reactions that I would have in English in the country, or I've also lived in Germany, so also in German, are not reactions that I would have in Portuguese in Brazil, for example, but also in Portuguese here. So it's reactions of, and they're, because they're not words, they're reaction, they mean something, and I know what they mean, but I can't really put them in words, but I've copied what other people do. So for example, if a reaction of somebody being unhappy with something, and it's not a I don't like this, it's being indirect with a reaction, like a sound or something, I don't know, a word, And you, and I would catch myself doing that. And then I'm thinking, but that means that when people do that, I'm also understanding that they actually are not d'accord, that they are not agreeing with whatever I am saying at that moment, you know? Or that they're just unsure, that they're just is a way for you to earn time. Anyways, I don't have any practical example, but hopefully you get what I mean. And it's yeah, so we learn these things, so we repeat them. So this is literally our brains understanding something that people do and mimicking. So I love when Josity, for example, when people are asking, you know, I asked her, do you have a role model? Do you have a woman that you look up to? Because we were also talking during Women's Month, and she's such a powerful, strong woman who teaches, yeah, mostly women. So I'm interested to know who is her role model. And people might think, oh, this is something that I need to know, right? I need to have a role model. This is something that I just like everyone has. Like you have your favorite color, so you should also have favorite, or you should have a role model. And she just stops it, and I love when people can do that of thinking for themselves and being, nope, actually, I don't have a role model. I am myself the role model, she said. And it is amazing. And she didn't say it with any arrogance. It was really the way that she said this. If I look up at another woman and try to be that woman, I will never be that. So it's not about trying to be someone else. It's about looking at, for example, my picture. She has her picture on her fridge, her 6-year-old self, and she talks to herself, and she then wants to think, who do I want myself to be? Um, you know, so she is building the role model herself. And I love that. I love when people can just be like, I have a different opinion, I have a different take, and I'm just not repeating this what people have been saying. It's nice. Okay, so actually, this is done. Love it. It's cute. It will look very beautiful if it's full. And then I'll see if I'll do it like the same. Probably not, because I do like mixed up stuff. Yeah. And of course, I also want plants that will survive winter, will survive a long time. Oh, I'm so sorry you're not happy. But luckily now I'm gonna water you in a bit and you will become happier. Nice. Okay, so this is all I can do now here. And I realize that I need so many plants. I need all of this more of flowers. I think plants are quite cheap, or yeah, not cheap, maybe affordable in the Netherlands because they just produce so many plants here. But still, like if you want to fill a big space, you need so many plants. So slowly but surely, I get that. Okay, now what do I want to do next? I would like to, okay, put this away. I would like to, I think, work on these here, because this little one, which is not little, she's a big one, she has been suffering, and I am so sorry. Can you believe they just threw these plants like this? So I literally got this from a container. We went inside a container and we were like, we are saving these plants. They are not gonna die. Speaking of things I would never do in Brazil, I would never go inside a container to save something. Like, also, I think in Brazil, there would be a lot of thought. Like, people are really observing what you're doing, where, especially in the Netherlands, people just don't care. And if you're inside a container, they don't think, like, oh, per you're struggling, or be careful with her, or watch out. Like, I think, oops, sorry. I think they wouldn't think that. They would just assume, oh yeah, she's trying to get something from the container, like, obviously. And yeah, so I got this plants. Anyways, so Uh-huh. Should this one be actually with this one? That would be nice, no? Yeah. And we need, of course, you need to live again. But oops, oh, sorry. I believe in this one. I think there is hope for this one. And these plants weren't very loved while they were, with Earth and everything. So it's extra hard for them. I made popcorn, but I didn't think that, of course, if I'm dealing with Earth, I don't want to use my hands to eat. Anyways, it's gonna be there. Okay, so I'm gonna. Here we go. And if you're wondering if it's heavy, it is heavy. 40 liters of Earth. In American terms, that is 500 gallons. Again, I don't have scissors, so I'm just gonna use the nails Mother Nature gave me. Oh, there was actually a little cut that I could easily use. Hey, Ducky, you're gonna wake up? Mimizu! Vem cá, bebê, vem! Oi, hello! Hello to you! What do you want to do, Mizu? What do you think? This one here? Does it work? Yes, you approve? High five, Mizu. High five improvement. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your approval. Right away leaves like, okay, leave me alone. So, my first topics were about burnout. And that is because I have so many people around me going through burnouts, and it was actually quite interesting to see how different cultures, not my first language, react differently to the topic burnout. So in the US, being a huge taboo and also like a synonym of you don't want to work or you don't want to do things. And then I was talking to 3 women about the topic, and it's so impactful how actually it is a thing. And I'm so happy that we have regulations in Europe that allow us that allow people to take their time if they need to and talk to specialists and talk to doctors and see what's up, and the company has to be supportive. So it was really nice to learn from them, because at the moment I did so, also more people around me that I never would have imagined came up to me and said, whoa, I've been through that, and it was crazy. And like the first episode, it was more like about the work burnout and that as a practical condition. I also spoke with somebody who is from the field, like from HR, Whitney, and she spoke, like what is a burnout, what can you do as a employee, especially in the Netherlands, but her being also expat and having lived in the UK, for example, she knew also from other places, and so she brought that aspect. But I already thought, okay, even though it's not like officially in the books recognized as burnout can come from several things, I do believe that it can, and they sum up. And that became very apparent when I was also talking to the other 2 women. So that was Jamie and Maxine. And if they had something going on in their families, that brings up added stress to their lives. And this woman who came up to me to just talk about it, for her it was really like that. She had so many things, like a series of events, like this person died and then this person took their life. It was like close to her, and she had to care for people around her, she had to provide, she had to do things, and I think she also had kids at the time. So it was so insane how much she had to do, that in a couple of years she completely burns out and she needed to stop. And for example, one thing was that she had to move for it to a new place because the place where she was staying was causing her huge amounts of stress. Okay, I didn't leave enough space. I am going to take some earth out to plant this little one. So she had to move to a, oh, no, okay, whatever. To a new place to calm her mind. And this is where I also think, oh yeah, context really matters, like where you're at. Do we think this pot is big enough? Because look at this weird root. You're not weird, you're perfect the way you are. It's just different. Okay. I think maybe it has to go down. I will test. It shall be testing. And I also hope she will survive. So let's see. Yeah, but the root, why don't you go down? Maybe I can do like this. It's okay. Yes, okay. And this comes on top. Loop. Look at you, look so much better. Yeah, and I would say like the biggest thing that I've been also gaining, so to say, from this interviews, the things that I'm doing is that I get to connect with people in a different way, in a deeper way. I get to expand the circle of people that I talk to. Of course, I get to learn so much about softwares and stuff. It's so fun, not annoying at all. No, it is fun, but it's just so much work. It's crazy. And yeah, it is exciting. So I've been really liking the Street Smarts journey and where it's taking me. And I do have plans for it to become also something different, something bigger, something. Yeah, like I love the idea that Street Smarts is knowledge that we all have, and if we can share with each other, it will just help us so much the next time that we're going to something similar, or that we can translate that into what do we need for us right now. Um, yeah, because if you really learn by doing, it's you can give an advice that perhaps a scholar, a very knowledgeable person can also do, but the words and the way that you're communicating will be so different and will be also so precise, maybe because it's one specific situation, that will be like, yeah, just what you need to hear. So don't get me wrong, I do believe in scholar knowledge on people who have studied, and I think we so much need that. But I also want to give a platform to the people who have learned by experience. And sometimes it's also things, not everything is studied, not everything is theorized. It's also about learning and going and exploring, and yeah, hearing about those experiences. So I really love that. Super passionate, as you can tell. I hope. Um, so I've been liking to do it. It also adds a lot to me. So I learned that I cannot put too much earth, because otherwise, I'm a bit sloppy watering my plants. Because I have this big thing that a lot of water goes in, and and earth goes everywhere. So I'm keeping what is like 3 fingers space for you. But you look nice. Okay, you will be somewhere beautiful. And make this space beautiful. Okay, how do I move you? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not a proud mom. But let's remember, these are all rescues. They've been through things. They've seen things. They've been mistreated. This is the first time they're really getting love. And it will take them time to get used to the idea of love. But it's okay. We will get there together. Mm-hmm. 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 You came to say hello. Oh, yo. Hey, Linda. We don't eat the plants, right? No. My dog is so good. She would never eat the plants. I remember I had a dog growing up that would eat the plants. It drove my mom crazy. well, okay, I'm gonna do this one and I'm gonna wash my hands and hope for the best because I don't know, guys, I'm a bit itchy. It can be just imaginary. Ta-da! Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me. This was Street Smarts, not of planting at all because I don't think I learned anything about it, but like getting street smarts into knowledge. I think that's important. Whenever we talk to somebody who really like touches us or something that we really want to keep with ourselves, I think it's important to think about it later and give it some time to sink in. And not only do this thing of like go from a podcast to the next to the next to the next, just also give it some time and let it become something in you and see how it relates to your things that you go through. I can just recommend journaling and writing about things. It's so nice. Like it also feels like a very nice exercise for the mind. I do get the point of not having time for those things because yeah, if I do plan my perfect day, it just takes so long for me to have a morning routine that I really like. And I love it. Like whenever I get to do it, it's a Saturday, I get to really have the routine. It's amazing. I love every second of it, but it's difficult to have every day, of course. So, anyways, well, thank you for joining me. Let me know if this is something that makes sense, because I don't want just to push out information. I also want to digest that, because maybe if I'm thinking about it, that you also think along with me, and it's also nice. So, see you around next time. Bye.